still the illest, still the baddest, blessed apparatus. I got silverback gorilla status. I pull the one red string that runs through your mattress to make your bed spring, sing a song of sadness. That sack of shit, pack your things and go. I'm hopping freight trains with nothing but a bindle. No hobo. Little homie said YOLO. No props, I photobomb you photo ops, busting out the RoboCop. Teach me the Dougie kid, I'd rather do the knowledge. Now go home and get your shine box. You got a couple shoes to polish under drag. This ain't no humble brag. I've son one too many Johnny come latelys, baby come to dad. Cause he don't need no cheat code to go beast mode. All he really needs is an MIC to freak flow.
Boom! Cascadia Hockey coming out the penalty box, fucking swing it this week. Little Sage Francis to open us up. That track's called Cheat Code off the album Copper Gone, Strange Famous Records 2014. Big shout out to Strange Famous.
Always.
Welcome to Cascadia Hockey, brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. I am your host.
Don't even say it.
With the least.
That is so bad.
Corey Gasted.
Inaccurate.
Corey, we miss you when you're not around. And I mean that.
I bring what little I bring all the way. Hear me, ladies. I bring what little I bring all the way. Just
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, that's really sad when you're talking about penises.
Hey, go back and listen to episode 20. And
I know, right?
Everybody will hear.
Wait, what's that saying? It's not the
size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. But it takes a long time to get to England in a rowboat.
But that long time could be a lot of fun.
Okay, moving on.
This just went off the rails immediately.
That just happened.
The little guy in the rowboat's at the top, bro. Just wasting your time down there.
Oh, man.
My name is Corey Gaston. I am your host with the least, and I'm here to introduce everybody else on the Cascadia Hockey Podcast. We're going to go ahead and start with the mastermind, the misanthrope, leader of men, Aaron Piper.
How is everybody doing this wonderful Tuesday morning?
We're doing wonderful, I think. Across from him, his anchor in the storm, Anya Piper.
Hey, boys.
Hi.
Next to me, the regular guy, number 86, Derek Ashonra.
Jesus, that gets more elaborate every time.
It's only because you make a big deal out of it if I don't do it. It's honestly like I was like, I should stop doing the radio pukey voice. And he's like, oh, dude, you didn't do it. So now I'm just doing it bigger and bigger every time.
So he's a narcissist?
Attaboy.
Well, aren't we all?
Yeah.
I mean, in some
That's why
way.
we're doing a podcast,
exactly.
right? We like to hear ourselves talk.
What? Somebody said something to me yesterday about hearing people like to hear themselves talk or whatever. Why are people so stupid? And I started to type back, and I'm like, wait, that's what I do like every week is talk and hope people will listen to it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
not going to really bite on that one.
Well,
So.
you know,
I think that was me.
No, it was Dan. I was talking to Dan.
No, I sent that message to Dan saying, or you had blah, blah, blah.
Anyway.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Podcast, West Side Story, check it out. It's
I
great.
got into radio because I wanted to play the music I wanted to play. And then I found out that that's not how radio works, and I got really fucking irritated.
Yeah, I know.
And then now we do podcasts, and I just want to play the music I want to play. Still can't fucking do it.
Still can't do it, man. Because there's still that whole fucking label control over everything.
Dude, dinosaurs must die, baby.
I know, right?
I remember being on 88.1 for my little, air shift.
Yeah.
My little air shift. And Ed Daly, who's one of the greatest humans on the planet,
Absolutely.
was like, you can play whatever you want. Just let me see what you're going to play first. So I submitted what I was going to play for that particular show, and the Foo Fighters album, There's Nothing Left to Lose, had just came out.
Okay.
And there was like 5 songs on there that I thought were like gold.
Yeah.
And so I was like, look, I'm going to kind of highlight this album and have a theme to my show this week. And he goes, listen, I don't want to discourage you, but in radio, like no album has 5 singles. And he's like, and you don't really play them, all in a 1 hour
In 1
period.
hour,
and I was
yeah.
trying to do something different. I didn't want to do the same stupid thing that everybody else did. And then he goes, I'll listen to these songs. He comes back the next day and he's like, Those are fabulous songs. You do whatever the hell you want.
That's awesome.
So I played.
In my day, we had a different teacher. We didn't have Ed. It was Marvin Karstens. And Marv was a hell of a guy. But Marv was like, hey, put on In-A-Gadda Da Vida and let's go have a cigarette. Like, that was not don't play 17 minutes. Play the 17-minute song. Let's you and I go have a smoke.
We can go screw around.
Yeah, no, it's...
That is
Miss
so
you,
cool.
Marv.
Or you just play Under Oath's first album, which each track is like 9. There's 5 songs and the whole thing's like 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
Each song is like 9 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. So here we are in our new setup here at the McMurray household.
Yeah.
Which thank you, Mrs. McMurray, for allowing me and my friends to hang out with you.
That'll be $5 as you leave and exit.
There's
the
no
building.
cover charge. There's no cover charge.
We can't wait for the hot tub party later.
We're excited. Some things.
I'm just waiting for my invitation to go down to Dominican.
So some things have changed. That's why we took a week off. But here we are at our house, which I like it. This is kind of buried puck.
I just wish you
central.
put some
Cozy.
fucking clothes on.
I'm sorry, dude. Dude, as soon as I walk in that front door, I'm like my 10-year-old when he was a kid. Just take it all off.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
way.
In fact, sometimes he didn't even wait to get in the door. Just take it all off on the steps.
Oh, yeah, that's cash.
I am Murray Goldberg.
Just drop your pants at the door.
second I walk in the door,
I'm home.
pants are
Nobody
off.
bother me.
And my boys are the same way.
Yeah.
Whenever someone knocks on the door, there's a mad scramble for everyone to go put their pants on before we can answer the door.
You know what's funny is
Wait.
I'm the exact opposite. I take my shirt off.
All right.
As soon as I get home, I take my fucking shirt off, right?
I get a little chilly.
But I'm a big fat guy. So I'm horribly embarrassed for people to see the Stay Puffed, you know? And so, like, I always have it just sitting next to me on the couch.
I got you.
Like, and I
Or
will,
just like one arm in and just like ready to go anytime.
no, one arm,
Hang
too
it out
much
of the-
heat.
Okay.
back
too
of
much
the
heat.
pants, hanging out of the back of the pants.
No,
in the back pocket?
No, because I wear the basketball shorts. They just fall off.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I gotcha. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's funny because I tell Ryan, my oldest, he's the one that is the social butterfly. So when he's home, it's like, hey, if you're gonna have people over, that's fine, but you got to let me know so I can put clothes on.
Oh, especially his girlfriend.
He had, in fact, it was so funny. After I got out of the hospital last year, Abby, his girlfriend, was over for something, and I still had all the bruising on my stomach
Yeah.
from all the needles and shit.
Right.
And so they're sitting on the couch, and I'm like, yeah, so I had this, and I lifted my shirt up and was showing her. Afterwards, he was like, Dad, that was really awkward. I'm like, why is that awkward? He's like, well, you lifted your shirt up. I said, let me tell you something, Ryan. Last summer, we were on a boat, all in, Abby and Ryan included, up in Idaho when I was super, super fat with no shirt on, and you didn't say a damn word about
Yeah.
it then. Now that I've actually lost a lot of weight, why was it awkward? He's like, I don't know.
That's
It was just,
okay. First off, that just tells me how good of parents you are.
well,
Because no, seriously, because at that point, like, if that's what he considers like an awkward situation,
right?
you've done awesome.
Oh, yeah, right.
I have seen every single member of my family in the most compromising, horrible, disgusting positions.
Extended family, immediate family, all family.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
all of the above.
Every last one of them.
Sure.
My brother-in-law has a propensity to wear skimpy underwear.
Okay.
Uh,
We're talking like bikini cut for men?
Well, all
underwear?
right.
I didn't say for men.
Well, okay.
Okay.
And we used to go out on the boat,
Nice.
and there he was wearing a goddamn G-string all the time. Did not care. Cool, bro. I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
I'm no longer having a good time.
This isn't pleasant. But you know what?
I
You
would-
learn. It made me immune to this game. You know, the circle below the waist,
Yeah.
right? It made me immune to that because I learned to make eye contact. I don't
know
look
what
down.
I don't know what my issue is because you didn't get me on that, and I knew what was coming.
Well,
so.
I-
Plus, we can't
I-
take pictures of that. Don't take pictures of that. So
fuck.
this is bad now too.
Well, that's where it started.
I know.
This,
It's all bullshit. I say we take it back.
yes, I think it's game time.
Yes. Anyway,
Game on.
we are a hockey podcast, by the way.
We're ready to play the game.
Probably felt like we were a fashion podcast or a family problems podcast, but we
Hey,
do talk hockey.
It's all therapy.
We're all of it.
That's
all
true.
of these problems is what drives us to need an outlet.
Yeah.
Such as hockey.
You guys think this is for you? Fuck no.
Piss off.
This is for us, man. And if you want to hear what goes on in our lives,
It's her grown-up talk.
This is our therapy.
Yeah,
and you
fucking
get it for free.
real.
I just noticed your hat, Corey.
Oh, I forgot what hat I was wearing until you said it.
I love it. It's perfect for Taco Tuesday and titties.
Titties, tacos.
My wife bought me this hat for Christmas.
That's
I love
awesome.
her
It is
so much.
it is a play on like Titleist, right?
Yeah,
The golf.
It's a golf Titleist hat, but it says titties on it.
It's perfect.
And
It's
I
perfect.
you know what's funny is I was wearing this at the hockey game where I sat next to you guys.
Yeah.
And
Did not pay attention.
they put us on the fucking jumbotron.
Oh!
Was that Joe that had that
Yeah.
happen? Because I saw Bella come up and say something to you.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, and then you had talked about how you were going to talk to Joe. I was like, Joe must have set him up for that.
Yeah,
So-
well, he sent me a thing, and he's like, find me some people for the Kiss Cam.
Okay.
And I said,
You did not say us, right?
No, of course not. I'm not going to sell
Because
you
you know,
out.
I'm like all ready to flick everybody off of that. Just an FYI.
You heard it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, she
so-
said it again.
Flick.
Oh,
Flick.
I
Yeah.
said flick.
Flick's the East Coast.
Yeah.
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 We're
it's
East
just,
Coasters.
it's just different.
I know.
It's just different.
I say both.
All my friends, Amanda and her sister Melissa, when we were in high school, said Flick.
and they're straight up from Michigan, right?
Yeah, they're from Detroit.
And I'm
yeah.
from Missouri, and she was born in Hawaii. I don't know, but you were only there till
I
you were 2.
was raised in Virginia.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lived there most of my life. so.
yeah.
I'm having deja vu. We totally already had this
know.
conversation.
Well, and
We
he's-
did.
and you've got deep East Coast.
yeah,
ties.
there's a lot of East
Yeah.
Coasterners.
I'm just a wannabe. Like I want to live on the East Coast.
East
more
Coast
than anything.
sucks.
I don't care. I want.
You don't
Remember-
want to live there. You don't want to live there. Go and spend a month
Yes,
there or
for
something,
sure.
but don't live there. Seriously.
fine.
It's as soon as you hit Chicago, like when we first got married, we lived here. And then 2.5, 3 years into our marriage, I'm like, you know what would be fun? Let's move back east and see what we can do there. We start driving, having fun, stopped at Mount Rushmore, all that stuff. It was really fun, really fun. All of a sudden we got to Chicago and it was like, oh fuck no, I'm ready to turn
Turn the
around.
car around, Beverly.
I forgot about this.
just traffic.
And from Chicago, well, not even just traffic, but
Traffic
just
and
the
weather.
attitude. But from Chicago on, you're like, yep, we're back on the East Coast, and it's bad.
so
Human
I know
niceness is not there.
I know we're not talking hockey right
It's all
now,
good.
but so I went on a vacation to New York City
Okay,
when it was a Bible retreat, and
her and I actually did a Bible retreat sort of thing in New York once.
I
too.
stayed.
For how long?
I was supposed to be there for a week, and I was there for 3 months.
What part?
Wow.
Where were you at?
New York City,
I know, but like
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah,
we didn't do Brooklyn. We did Harlem. We did Jamaica, Queens. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Manhattan, of course.
Well, I
but-
was staying.
You have friends or whatever.
I was crashing with my sister.
okay.
Living on her couch, and my wife is trying to call. Of course, every time we record, every time.
Do you need to answer?
No,
Okay.
no, she gets mad at me when I answer
Okay.
and we're recording.
Okay.
So anyway, we go. I went back and I was like, I see no reason to ever return,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to stay there, and it was the happiest time of my life.
But you weren't tied to it. I mean, it wasn't like you were in a situation where you had nowhere else to go.
No, not
know
at
what I'm
all.
saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I was there by choice.
Right. So I think that helped the mentality for sure. New York City is a rad place. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I would never want to live there. I've spent enough time. I've been in most of the major cities up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know, I've spent a shit ton of time in DC, which is a beautiful city. History there, culture there is really cool. Could never fucking live there, mostly because of the Beltway. The Beltway.
Oh yeah,
sucks.
fuck the Beltway. But I realized at that point in my life, I was raised in a rural
Yeah.
suburb.
Yeah.
But deep down, I'm a fucking city boy.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it.
I just am.
I like the mix of it. I love being away from people, but yet I can thrive in the city as well. You know, so I did want to say something that you brought up about the jumbotron or whatever you want to call it there. The Americans. I have to give props to the Spokane Chiefs because you know how since they started the Kiss Cam, they'll always put the camera on the opposing team's bench, hoping that they'll see and kiss each other.
Yeah.
Spokane, we're the first.
Who?
to
Did they do it?
Seattle
did it?
leaned into it.
Yeah,
one of
but
the
who-
players from Seattle leaned in. One of the Spokane players looked up and went to the player next to him and kissed him on the helmet.
That's fucking
fantastic.
rad.
So props.
What player
to
did
the,
that,
I don't
though?
remember who it was.
Oh my god.
What is
Assault on the senses.
I was trying to let Snow
That
know.
sounds very.
No.
Okay, let's talk some hockey. We do have Mr. Parker Coin today. What do you got? What?
No, I was just going to say, we were just talking Spokane. McNeil.
I think it was McNeil.
Had
Yeah.
his first WHL goal.
Lots of people
At
have
our
had their
game.
first WHL
Yep.
goals in the Toyota Center this year against the Americans.
Yeah,
So
but we got to see it, and I thought that was kind of
we
cool.
did. And the cool thing was, as soon as he scored, Ty Smith, captain of the Chiefs, immediately skated right to the net and grabbed that puck.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
love that. I've seen Bush do that a few times.
Yes.
It's so cool. And I said to her, I said, that's probably that kid's first goal.
Sure.
I didn't know. I didn't know his name. I didn't know his stats. But of course, that was his
A little
first
bit
goal.
later, we found out. I was like, that's so cool
I
to
love
see that.
watching the players support each other like that.
Absolutely.
Like they know. They're on top of it.
I wonder if there's some deep stats out there that can say that our Coliseum is home to the single most first-time goals in WHL history.
I don't think that's
A
true.
couple of weeks ago,
I don't think
Seattle
that's
player
true.
had his first goal.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Maybe
so
this season.
It might be. I mean,
Parker Acoin is on with us today.
Yay.
In fact, he's ready to go. So we're going to call him. I'm going to let him kind of steer the ship for the next 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there with it. All right, you guys?
Like it a
Solid.
lot.
All right, so let's give Parker a call. All right, we are back with our favorite guest. This will be Parker's third time on the show with us,
Which
which
is hat trick.
it's his hat. Oh, there's the title of the show, Parker's Hattie.
the Third Timers Club.
Have you ever had a hat trick?
Oh God,
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just
had-
started getting in this year.
I had one in my dub career, my last year against Kootenai. That's my
Okay.
only one in my
Solid.
dub career.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it.
See, they make me feel dumb, but I'm telling you, I just really got into hockey and all this stuff, really invested my time in the last 6 months.
There is no shame
No.
in that whatsoever.
I didn't mean that to come across.
Well, it did, and it
No,
hurt my
it's-
feelings.
Oh my God, I'm not getting laid for a week.
Yeah, you are, baby.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay, sorry,
this isn't-
Parker.
Yes,
Sorry,
this isn't
Parker.
about us. This isn't about us. So, no, honestly, Parker, we're glad to have you, man. We love having you on. This whole day kind of grew out of a situation here in Tri-City, which is something that the fans haven't experienced here in quite a while, and that's called a rebuild.
And a much needed rebuild.
A much needed rebuild, yes. And
You know, I kind of think we've been rebuilding since '88.
oh, come on.
oh,
Sorry,
Parker, you can go off on him here. in a
Yeah.
minute.
I'm joking. That was just a joke. There's actual billboard outside of Detroit with a Detroit Lions football player on it that says rebuilding since 1958, which was like their last championship or something. So
Okay.
Just
So
a picture of George Plimpton.
anyway, the AMs are going through a legitimate rebuild right now, and honestly, I'm excited about it. I'm excited for some of the players we brought in. Parker, I don't know if you're familiar with this the Ronan Garrity kid at goal this weekend.
I saw that on the weekend. Yeah.
Man, we got to see him play on Saturday night, and fucking incredible, dude. I mean, the guy, as a 15-year-old goalie in that situation, he just had so much poise. And as a wannabe goalie myself, I always watch a goalie to see how they react after a goal. And man, it was those first saves after every goal that he was just nailing it. So that's exciting. But anyway, neither here nor there. I want you've made some observations about what's been going on here. Tell us what your take is on the situation.
Well, I think like the thing for me is like I feel like the fans don't realize like how lucky they've been like the past let's say like 4 or 5 years that I've been there. If you look at the players that have come through that you get to watch on a nightly basis, like you can't have that every single year. Like you look at in my tenure, you look at all the players who have left. You had Comrie, Parker Bowles, Carlo, NHL, Rasmussen, Valimaki, Geeky, Coughlin, Bean, Jordan Topping, myself, Uremko, Hyman, James, Patty Day, all these like high, level players that you got to see for so many years every night, put their lives on hold to, play in front of you. And now that isn't a thing anymore, and like the success isn't there, it's just like it's time to blow up the ship and start pointing fingers at everyone else. And what really sucks for me is when people start pointing fingers at Bob and at Kelly. And I think obviously, like, people don't realize, like, there would be no team. You wouldn't have a fucking team to watch if you didn't have Bob.
Yeah.
He took over. He's been there. He brought it. He's been in hockey for over 40 years as an executive all over the place as a scout. So, like, you wouldn't have a team to watch. You wouldn't have upgrades to the building. You wouldn't have any of that without him. He's like the total backbone of the whole team. And Bob, Aaron, that
yep.
he's an interesting guy for sure, and he has his days, and he likes to go about things a certain way, but he just wants the best for his players, and he wants the best for his fans. And like, the thing that for me is what a lot of it boils down to is that Tri-City is not a hockey market. It just isn't.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in, the location, the population, there's so many different factors that, don't make it a hockey market, but you still have people coming out and supporting the community, and, people come to games, sometimes they don't. But I think Bob does a great job of involving the players in the community also. And I can think of, 10 fans that I would see out and about in Tri-City that I would know first name, say hello because of community appearances and stuff that we do. And that's what makes it Tri-City such a great place, to play hockey, and to have a team is the community and all that sort of stuff. And I think, that's all because of Bob, and that's him implementing his ways. And so it sucks to see, people point fingers at him and say, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't, he's out of touch. He's out of this, he's that,
Well, so the issue, and I think this is kind of prevalent in all sports, but the armchair quarterbacking of people trying to make decisions that they have absolutely no idea what the ins and outs of what's going on are, and they second guess, and it's easy for them to point fingers when they don't have any idea. And I'm not defending that mentality in any way, shape, or form, because I agree with you 100%. Bob, I don't know Bob real well. I have spoken with him a few times. And he's a nice, cordial dude when I talk to him, but he can be gruff. He's a businessman. He gets shit done.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's doing 100%, and that you can see that over everything he's doing. It's there's a dedication to making it the best it can be with what's available.
Parker, you said something just a couple minutes ago that really hit me, that you said Bob cares about the fans. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I wish the fans could see that. I know, because of a lot of interactions that I've had in that office, I know how things weigh on him, through firsthand accounts, through secondhand accounts. And for you to make that comment is super true. And I wish two things. I wish the fans would stop treating this as an NHL organization, because it is not. And the other thing, stop feeling so entitled, because you are not. I don't know. I don't know, man. It gets me worked up. It gets me worked up, because you're right. He does care about the fans. I wish the fans would fucking realize that,
For sure. And I think it's also like going back to what I said about not being a hockey market. There's a select few. No, I wouldn't say a select few, but there's a group of people who go there because they love watching. Well, everyone loves watching hockey because it's hockey, and it's that you just love to watch it.
Agreed.
But
for sure.
There's a group of people that know what's going on. They either played or they're like you guys and have are just passionate about the sport and take time to learn about it and talk to players and do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there's also people that just go there because they like to see someone get hit in the face, or they like it because it's loud, or because there's beer there, you know?
Yeah.
The monster
Like-
truck aspect of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Totally. But I think like there's much more of that, you know, in Tri-City because of, you know, the non-hockey market than there is, say, in even like Seattle or Portland, you know?
I would be
And
willing.
one thing that sticks out for me, sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, you're
No,
fine.
not at
You're
all.
fine.
Yeah.
So I'm good buddies with Matthew Wedman, who was Seattle's captain that got traded to Kelowna.
Right.
So I followed his trade, and I kind of figured that, you know, he'd be on the move, you know, the way their season was going. So they traded their captain Wedman for a first, a third, and a fifth.
That's huge.
Okay, that's a great return. That's a great return for a 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He had 40 goals last year. Like, you know, that's like, you know, he's a rental to Kelowna for the Memorial Cup. They gave up what they had to give up. Great move.
Yeah.
And you look at, you know, and Aaron, you and I talked about this, about the stuff on Facebook and the replies on Twitter and all that sort of social media stuff that's just like ripping into the organization and the team and the coaches and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But you go and you look at the replies and the posts on Seattle's thing saying we traded Wedman, who is their best player, bar none, hands down, one of the top 3 20-year-olds in the league probably. And they're like, thanks for your time. You did so well for us. Good luck. This is a good move for our team going forward. And virtually every one of them, every comment, every post, every whatever is thank you. You know, he played when he was 16. He scored that goal to send him to the league final against Kelowna. Like he was a big part of their organization. It was a thank you. You've done great. Good luck. And this is a good return for us. You know, this is what we need going forward. And because they understand, like you understand that's a hockey deal. It's not a personal deal,
Right.
you know?
So it's hard.
Like that's why.
Oh, go ahead.
And then you look at, you know, Kyle and Beck being traded, which had to be done.
Yeah.
You know, look at the return that they got for, you know, 2 players that were going to play all of 30 games the rest of the season, right?
Yep.
And then you look at, you're throwing in the towel, you're fire Bob, fire Kelly, Kelly doesn't care, Bob doesn't this and that and the other. And it's like, you know, like you just like, those are good hockey trades. And
Yes.
I know 100% that Bob didn't want to trade them
Yes.
because they're great guys. They're great people. They were great in the community. They've spent their whole career there. But like hockey and life are 2 different things, you know?
Right.
And like you said before, Aaron, you know, Bob's a great person, but he's also a businessman. Like he has to make deals for the future, and he can't just focus on, you know, getting by and getting swept in the playoffs at the first round every year, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
And
you have to
go ahead. I'm sorry.
carry on talk too long.
No, you're not talking too long, man. You carry a lot of knowledge on this. A lot of people when Kyle got traded didn't look at the fact Olsen's nursing an injury this year, so we probably, and he's still not playing. He's not playing in Calgary right now. That injury has been nagging him quite a bit. So we moved somebody that yes was beloved around here and was the captain of the team. And trust me, I had people in the front office say to me, Bob has never traded a captain mid-season before. This is all new for everyone. But it had to be done, and the return was great. And a lot of the fans complained because James Malm didn't show up. I got the inside scoop on that. I cannot share what the inside scoop on that was, but I do know that it goes deeper than a kid just saying, I don't want to go play in Tri-City. There's a lot more to it than that. But that, once again, the fans have no idea. So they just see a 20-year-old that doesn't want to show up. They feel like the team got gypped because this kid doesn't want to show up. They don't look at the draft picks that were picked up. I mean, the Americans are stacked with the draft. And not only that, But this bantam draft this year could be the strongest bantam draft in the last 10 years. To get a high pick is not a bad thing this year. Those top 3 players are probably all 3 going to apply for exceptional status, which a lot of people listening to this show probably don't know what exceptional status means. Pretty much that means as a 15-year-old, they're applying to play full-time in the league. The WHL, I believe, has never granted exceptional status, but to have 3 players in the same year applying for that, that means the draft, this talent pool runs deep. So this is the perfect time to reload. Sorry.
For sure.
That's my soapbox. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and I like you said before, like I also understand like the fan aspect. Like you just, on the surface level, like you just want to win every game.
Yep.
And it's because like you're passionate and you want them to win, and like, that's just that's human nature. But it's only, like I said before, it's only like that surface level, and like until you actually understand like the process of behind winning and how it works and what it takes, like it's a lot different than just put the best team out there and try and win every game.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, because that's kind of there's a Twilight Zone episode where a guy gets cursed and he thinks he's in heaven because he's playing the slot machines and he wins every hand, right? But it turns out to suck because that's boring. And I don't think fans look at it that way. But I mean, if your team just wins and wins and wins and wins and wins and wins and wins, pretty soon they're hated by everybody else.
Yep.
And it's, I mean, I can see the fun in that, but I would rather, like, knowing that we're watching junior hockey. This is not NHL. I want to watch these kids come in and build themselves and build a team and learn and grow and watch that improvement from dog shit to, maybe putting their hands on the Memorial Cup. You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying that specifically, but I'm just saying, like, watching a team come up and maybe achieve something, that's far more, I find far more investment in that than just the team that just wins.
Yeah.
And I maybe that's a dumb way to look at it, but that is how I see it.
As a not lifelong, I've been Flyers fan for 20 years. I watched GMs come through that organization that just wanted to buy championships every year.
Yeah, and fuck that. Then it becomes the goddamn Premier League in England.
Yeah, then it becomes the New York Rangers, who didn't win shit for the longest time. But just buying a championship, first off, it feels cheap. And then at the same time, it usually doesn't work. Now, watching a team... it's
anything they've done with LeBron.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Looking at Seattle a couple years ago, when your boy Wedman, was a part of that WHL championship team, they built that team through the draft. And that was cool to watch. That was a team that learned to play together. You and Remmer last year were a good example of that, because you guys played your whole career there. The team that was with you and behind you, you guys gelled together over the years, and there was a dynamic there, But yeah, I see what you guys are saying. It's a process. It's a cycle. Junior hockey is more cyclical than other sports as well, other leagues as well. So I think bottom line, what we're all trying to say as fans, this is a part of the game.
And it's a good part.
It is. I'm so excited, dude. When and Parker gave me shit a couple weeks ago because I said I love watching this Zazula kid because he reminds me of Jake Bean. And Parker texted me and said, "Bean? Like question mark? Like really?" But you know what I mean. It's just it was a new kid and I had never seen him before, and there was some of that, the way he handles the puck and the way he doesn't get nervous with the puck or anything like that. It reminded me of Jake a little bit.
For sure.
I think.
Which congrats! I watched Jake over the weekend in the AHL All-Star, which was cool. So.
Yeah.
I think part of the conversation that's getting missed here is the fact that what you're seeing online is probably 1% of the fan base.
That's true.
Which is social media in general.
The loudmouths.
Right. That's social media. The loudmouths that have the negative kind of attitude are the ones that speak the loudest on social media.
Absolutely.
And with that said, initially when things like that happen, because they're quote unquote fans or passionate, you're getting the instant emotional response.
Yeah.
A few weeks removed now, maybe they've sat back and thought about it and realized, hey, this is a better thing going forward. I just think I don't think all the fans were,
No.
we're calling that out. I think it was a very small percentage that were just like, hey, this is stupid. Well, great. You're a moron.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. But
Is that how you felt, Parker? I mean, obviously it was a small percentage, but they were pretty loud and obnoxious too.
Yes, for sure. I think it's real. It sucks to see all that sort of stuff, and it's always so much more prevalent negatively than it is positively, right?
absolutely.
People ignore the positive shit, and then
Yep.
as soon as something half bad turns around, then everyone's an expert in their field, right?
Piles on.
Yeah. I
So,
think
what makes me really sad and is people, commenting nasty shit on the Facebook page. That there is someone on the other end of that Facebook page.
Mhm.
Someone has to post that stuff. Someone has to read all that. Someone has to be politically correct and respond to your comments. And that's someone's job, and that's ruining someone else's day.
Yep.
That's
I feel horrible for
That's
Mary.
such a tremendous point.
Such a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you again.
No,
But-
and I wanted to say that is such an amazing point, because there's a few of us sitting here who have done that gig and dealing with people who maybe they have a point, but the way they go about it is very tactless, and it doesn't really get their point across because they're perhaps putting too much venom on it. And then you just feel crappy because you don't want them to feel that way, or you're like, well, that's not really the situation, but I can't discuss with you the rest of the ins and outs, so you're just going to be a shithead to me. And I have to sit here, grin and bear it, and be like, oh, the customer service end of it, I'm sorry that's happened, and we'll see what we can do.
I've been in customer service my entire professional career. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
you
And
have
they're
to
all
be,
assholes.
you have to become a master
Yeah.
at gritting your teeth and smiling when you're
Yeah.
taking an ass load of shit, and then figuring out a way to disarm that and make them happy. So, I hated your comment, and I hate your comment. That's true, Parker, when you said we're still not a hockey community and we're damn near 33 years in. What do you think? So I talked to my friend Craig West yesterday, who I don't know if you've ever met him or not, but
Only 1,000 or 2,000.
yeah. So I talked to Craig yesterday, and I wanted a couple good stories from him to embarrass you, and he couldn't give me anything.
And you were there for 4 hours?
Yeah, no. We were texting, so I was able to just ignore it after a while. But I wanted some embarrassing stories to bring up or whatever, and he really had nothing, which really surprised me because I know he's got something on everyone. But he said, and it's coming out today in this conversation, that you're removed from the Tri-Cities however long now, and you're still so passionate about us. Speaks to exactly what he told me. He said you were one of the greatest ambassadors that our program ever had, and that the early struggles, I think when you were 16 and didn't make the team, he said that was...
what? He actually, you tried out and you didn't make the Americans?
he didn't try out. He was
Or
drafted.
Yeah.
drafted or whatever?
Yes.
But
Wow, I did not know that.
he said that was probably the best thing that happened in your career because you became such an amazing person after that. So I'm sorry I couldn't embarrass you, but it's all love for you today. So, but to my larger point though is whose job is it? We're 33 years in the community, and what else needs to happen to make this a hockey community? I know the youth league, my son was in the youth league for about 5 years. I know it's strong. I know we've got things cooking, but what can we do to tie it all together?
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're saying. But Aaron and I, we've talked about this before, is like how much the youth has grown, youth hockey has grown in Tri-City even since my first year. This will probably be the 100th time I've said that in my 3rd time talking to you guys on here. But it's super true, and it's super inspiring to see all these young kids, playing hockey when there's 2 fucking rinks you can go to, and you have 1 practice time a week, and you miss that practice time, you're fucking shit out of luck. Sorry.
Yep.
There's 2 weeks. There's 3 rinks you can go to, and there's how many teams, and you get 45 minutes on the ice, no flood, this, that, and the other, and they still are so excited to go play hockey, and still so excited to come, watch the Americans play and, interact with the players and stuff. And that's the stuff that you remember, as a player, and you see as a fan, that you can't that shit's not measured by wins and losses. That's not, measured by, who scored the most goals, who has these points, who has this and that and the other. That's just the interaction of that is, it's priceless. And that is why people come and watch hockey. And back to, Bob is who created that culture in the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and, I've never, obviously I have tons of friends around the league, and, not as still now, but not as much anymore. Those guys aren't doing as, nearly as much stuff as we're doing, and they're they're in these, they're in Calgary, Vancouver, Edmonton, these big places with, tons of people, great hockey places, so I feel like I said, our fans are spoiled, and they don't realize it for, all the extracurricular stuff that they get their hands on that, kind of goes under the radar and doesn't, is really underappreciated.
Well, Parker, to back up your point 100%, man, I was in 4th grade when the Americans' first season happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember meeting Ole and Stu and Greg Spinraff and a bunch of other guys at one of the local gyms. They were working out, and I was wearing an AM shirt. Because I just discovered hockey, because this wasn't a hockey town before they showed up. We live in the continental steppe that is often referred to as a desert, but it's, but I mean, it wasn't a thing here, and I'd never seen it. And then once I saw it, I fell in love. But those guys all took the time, and I mean, they were 17, 18 at the time. They all took the time to talk to this little fat kid who was geeking out, holy fuck, you're my idols. And they took the time to talk to me, and here we are, 20, 30 years later.
32 years later.
32 years later.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm old. But I mean, here we are, and I'm sitting here talking to you about hockey because those guys took the time to talk to me when I was that age. And you did the same thing for kids now, or when you were here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it all ends up coming full circle, and like I said, that sort of stuff is far more than wins and losses, and some people don't, realize that.
Yeah.
Well,
and to go back earlier to finishing my point about the Facebook thing and God bless Mary's heart.
Yes.
I don't know how she does it. And Aaron, you deal with Mary, more than most.
Yep.
And what a great person, and what a perfect person for that job. She's so passionate about hockey, and that's fucking hard, man. Think about how that affects her days, and having to, not wanting to go into work because she has to deal with bitching fucking fans. And, that's what she's so passionate about, and loves hockey and loves doing all that sort of community stuff and the social media and everything. And she just I love Mary. She's great. And Aaron, you I'm sure would say the same about her. But like I said, people forget that there's other people, on the end of those computers on the end, like, you know, on the other end of those phones and like those comments, and like just because it's a Teams page or something like that, like there is a human being on the other end of that, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. People just don't, when you hold them accountable, there's definitely some eye opening. And I've seen that happen lately with the social media pages, which has been great. I commend the team for holding some of these toxic people accountable, or just downright getting rid of them from the conversation. As a small business owner myself, I've been taught by my wonderful wife, who actually has an internet marketing degree, and she says you don't delete negative comments. You know, you deal with that sort of stuff. You don't hide it.
Yeah.
But if it's toxic and it's just meant to be a troll, you get rid of it, sort of thing. And you'll know the difference. And the team has really started to do that recently, which I appreciate a lot.
Speaking of your wife, we got to pop Parker on here into a segment I'm going to call Anya Needs Answers.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Are you prepared to give answers, Parker?
For anything for Anya.
I love it.
I think I fall in love with you every time you come on the show. Just want to throw that out there. No, Aaron threw it out there in our Cascadia hockey group that we started because we just love talking hockey. And
real quick. This goes back to what Parker was talking about, though. Our purpose for this stuff and for Buried Puck and all that is to help build hockey culture.
Yes.
So that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes.
Make it a fucking hockey town.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We're trying. We're going to work really hard to do it. So,
what was that you were talking about? Cascadia Hockey what? What was that, babe?
Hockey Club Facebook group. If you have not joined, join us. You just search Cascadia Hockey Club in Facebook and you'll find us. But anyways, Aaron posted it and wanted to ask. Nobody asked you any questions, Parker. And I just think that's stupid because I would want to know everything about you. So my 2 questions that I did have to ask is, what is your favorite movie?
Hall Pass.
Really?
Okay, so I don't even know what that movie is.
Yeah, I know what Hall Pass is.
Same. That's awesome.
Dude, when you said it, like, at first I thought you said hard pass, like you weren't going to answer the question.
No.
I know.
And then it hit me what you were saying. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that movie.
Wait, what is Hall Pass?
Explain it, Parker.
It's like these 2 husbands think that they can go out and get a bunch of chicks, but they're married. So they give their wives give them a hall pass for a week to go out and do whatever they want.
Okay.
Try and get girls, and then the husbands give their wives hall passes also, and also you can imagine all sorts of shit goes on.
Shenanigans ensue.
That's been my favorite movie ever since it first came out. However many years ago, I watched it one time, and I'm like, that is fucking hilarious. I love that movie.
Parker,
still.
As somebody who's been married for 18 years, and I'm sitting here, all of us at this table have been married for X amount of time. Let me tell you, because I know that you're in a wonderful relationship with a wonderful person, but if she ever gives you that sort of freedom, do not fall for that.
Say no.
Just say no.
In the immortal words of Admiral Akbar, it's a trap.
I can confirm.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
That's so
awesome.
awesome. Okay, so I will have to actually watch that because I've never seen it.
It's a hilarious movie.
It's funny. It sounds interesting. And again, I agree with my husband's sentiment. It would be a fake hall pass.
That'll be the hard pass.
That's a hard pass.
Exactly.
There you go.
Hard
Exactly.
pass.
So my next one is, when you are bummed out, and this is totally a girl question, what is your go-to food?
Comfort food.
Comfort food.
Oh man.
Spinach omelet and turkey bacon.
That's what I was about to say.
If someone's making it for me, it's lasagna.
Oh my gosh.
so good.
Now, do you know if the lasagna has cream cheese in it, or is it just a ricotta?
It depends. My billet mom made the best lasagna. I think she just had ricotta, and it was like super simple, but it was like made with love. You know. That's the best.
Yummy. I love lasagna. On my birthday every year for like 37 years, I would have lasagna, and it was my mom's lasagna, and I loved it.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, but I'm also bit like sweets is my thing. So
You and me are going to be best friends.
Oh man,
Yup.
like if
You
I'm-
can stop texting my husband. You can just text me because we're going to be best friends moving forward because I'm the sweets girl. I
Yeah.
love lasagna. Gosh, man. See, I got my answered.
Okay,
or
so
questions answered.
do you want me to actually give you that steak dinner if you ever make it back to town, or are you just like, fuck it, I'd rather have lasagna?
Yeah, no. I'll just no, man. I'm from Alberta. We got Alberta beef. I'm a steak guy too.
Love it.
Awesome.
Wait a minute. What? There's no rule that says you can't have steak and lasagna.
That's true.
Sure.
I mean, who put
True,
together
yeah.
steak and lobster? Who would have ever thought?
Spoken like a true fat boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I had a few other things that I was going to ask you too, but I'm going to save it for next time, just in case nobody decides to ask any questions on the Facebook group. Thanks a lot, all you people, all you 45
Yeah.
people that are on
Yeah.
there.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle.
Fuck you, yeah, for real.
Screw you, Cal.
All right, we'll talk about Kyle later. No, miss you, buddy. All right, man. You know what? I think at the end of the day, I really believe that this town here is headed in the right direction. It might take some time to get there, but I speak for myself. I think I speak for Parker and the rest of us when I say we see that shit, we're going to call that shit out because it's not right. And I'm talking about the toxicity.
Can confirm.
It's time to look at this as community and family and stop win, lose, or draw. You know,
Agreed.
we're hockey fans, and I love the sport, and I love most of the people involved with it. So yeah. Anyway, Parker, we do love you, man. I appreciate you coming on again.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys, for having me anytime. And thanks again. And hopefully the snow stays away from you guys, huh?
Oh,
No,
dude,
send
it's
it.
supposed to be 70 degrees here on
Send
Saturday.
the snow our way. I love it.
Fucking lotto.
Quiet.
No, don't. Careful what you wish for. I promise.
You know what? I have to say, I work from home, so I don't ever leave my house if I don't have to. So I love the snow, and I will relish in all of it.
Oh, and real
Can you
quick,
hit her mute button?
I could, but I'm not going to because I'm a smart husband. Real quick, how's your face doing, man?
Oh, I'm better.
Okay.
Much better.
Okay, I felt bad.
Yeah.
Parker took a nasty puck
Oh
to the
yeah, that
face.
fucking
and
sucks. That
You
fucking
look like
sucks.
an elephant.
Fucking puck.
he looked like an elephant.
I'll have to send you a message, Aaron, the next morning. I don't know if I don't think I texted it to you.
No.
But so you can show everyone because it's even worse the next day.
All right. Yeah, the one I saw was that story that was just after it happened. So yeah, send that over. I'd love to see that. So, well, enjoy. Keep up with your studies. You know, enjoy your omelets, all that good stuff. And I know that we will we'll be talking again soon, brother.
Don't skip leg day.
Yeah. No, you either. I see you on there.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. Talk to you later on.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Parker.
Bye.
You know, if you did miss leg day and he missed leg day, you guys could be leg day bays.
We need to be leg day
That's true.
bays.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I've always felt like I had really strong legs, and then we went in and did this. There's this whole thing at our gym where it kind of looks at your body and where your weaknesses are at. My legs are fucking weak, dude. Like they straight up said, "Look, your arms are good. You look at this, your legs not so great."
I can't even believe that these things are holding you up.
That was kind of the thing. It was like, so your legs are actually able to hold up like 90% of your body weight. And I'm like, well, wait a second here. I've dropped like a lot of weight, and they're
you're
still
like,
at that point.
They're currently holding 100%. That math don't add, Holmes.
Oh man, I felt like
That
one of those
dog does not hunt.
one of those chickens from Super Size Me 2.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen that?
No.
Is that the ones that they just
You got to roll.
no.
Okay,
No.
cool. The chicken. It was focused on chicken.
Yeah, that they
Yes.
just pump them so full of steroids they're like fully grown.
They bred them that way.
They breed them so after 6 weeks they're at like 6 pounds, and they were saying like if
but their brains aren't developed and
no,
like they can't,
just die of heart
they
attacks.
can't hardly walk
Their
because
hips just pop out. They said if
We
humans were to
eat that.
if
Yes.
humans were to grow at the same rate, a 6-month-old baby would be 660 pounds.
Listen, 11
Yeah, seriously.
special blend of 11 herbs and spices can solve a lot of
So we're on a
Problems.
hunt to look for a local chicken farmer. If anybody knows anybody, I want to buy from them.
You
I
know
got-
what
I got a
happens when you see a
controversial
chicken
take on
farmer
this.
in the Alps?
What's that?
Nothing.
You find a controversial chicken farmer in the Alps.
Oh,
You see what
man.
happens, Larry?
That was a Lebowski made for TV quote.
Okay, so I want to share some news though about a Cascadia hockey team before we go. It's Portland, and I know not a lot of people are Portland fans.
Portland is kicking ass.
Oh my gosh, get
Number
this.
2 in the whole CHL.
Holy shit, they are kicking
They
ass.
won 19 of the last 21 games.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Amazing. They haven't lost a game in regulation since November 30th.
Dude, my only beef with Portland is the goddamn...
We're just
Stop,
now looking
buddy.
at
Yowza.
Parker,
Parker's face.
as you're listening to this
Yeah.
to this podcast,
Oh, you look like a swollen elephant.
Okay, Burt Reynolds, why don't you wax that chest, bro?
Fuck that noise. Au natural, baby. You're a perfect 10.
oh man,
Oh, that
he's
had to
gonna kill
hurt.
us.
No,
Poor guy.
my only beef with Portland is the fucking jerseys. Other than that, I
Yeah.
don't really have a problem
But
with Portland.
and Aaron put this into perspective at the game we were at. I can't remember.
a couple weeks ago.
No, the last game, like so Saturday night.
Oh, the
or-
Spokane game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That because we were looking at stats and stuff like that. But like, the AMs only won how many games since November 30th?
3.
3.
Yeah.
So it's like Portland is doing freaking amazing. I am scouring the comments that the fans are putting because that's really got me intrigued ever since
Yeah.
this whole negative comments about the AMs.
To see what the other
To see
side
what other
is
people
happening.
say and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I'm like, I'm curious. So I'm always scoping Spokane and Everett.
You know what solves
and
all that?
Portland and all those. What?
You know what solves all that?
What's that?
Stay the
A
fuck
winner.
off of the internet.
Well,
Sorry, winning solves all that.
you're
That's
right.
true,
It
but
does.
If
you
you look
can't
at
win
if you look
every-
at Portland's Facebook page when they were under the sanctions and
Absolutely.
winning 9
Well,
games a
nobody wanted
season
to talk
or
about
something,
the sanctions, though. It didn't really happen.
I'm sure their Facebook pages were pretty nasty. You know what I
Probably.
mean? Like,
And I bet you we could go back but that's just a lot of time. I don't care enough about it.
no, I'm just saying, winning solves all that kind of stuff.
But
True.
Yeah.
man, like you have to admit that team is fucking on
Well,
fire.
no, I don't care.
What-
I
what-
hate them.
what
I've always
Portland-
hated them.
That's
Were
fair.
they number
Portland-
2?
Number 2
I
in the
just
whole
hate
CHL.
Spokane.
Oh my god.
Of the
I hate them all.
60,
I don't like any of them.
of the
except for us.
60 CHL teams, Portland is ranked number 2.
That's insane.
Behind the Ottawa 67s.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
it. Well, and the thing that's happened with Portland this year is the same thing that happened with Everett 2 years ago. Everybody said they're too young. There's not enough high end talent, but they've got like 6 or 7 A and B ranked NHL prospects on that team.
That
now.
could be drafted
So
this year?
They were unproven before the season started, but you got to remember, fucking penis with a hat on, Mike Johnson, the coach there.
Why did
Loved
you
it when
just
he-
call him that?
Yeah, it's just because I don't like him because he
Okay.
was the coach of the Penguins for a while.
Johnson.
Oh.
But he went to the Penguins.
Johnson
Johnson.
is another name for wiener.
Yeah.
Or Rod.
I didn't know that.
Or
Rod Johnson, that would be perfect. No, but he went to Pittsburgh, and I loved it when he got fired there. But as far as junior coaches go, and they've got Don Hay on the bench, too.
Yeah,
the
miss
winningest
that
coach
guy.
in all of the WHL
Which begs the
ever
question,
is the assistant coach.
Why is he an
in
assistant
Portland.
then?
He was our
That doesn't
guy
make
for a
sense. If
while.
he's the most
Yeah.
winningest.
He was only here, 1 or 2 seasons, something like that.
He had
it
a
wasn't
decent,
super long.
I think he had a
Because when
decent
you're winning,
little
you go
stint,
where the
didn't
money
he?
is.
Oh, so he's probably getting paid good as an
Yeah.
assistant?
He
Yeah.
got pushed out of Kamloops a few years ago.
Oh,
and he
okay.
But anyway, those guys know how to do junior hockey. And
Yeah.
you want to talk about a culture of the team in hockey, they're doing it right.
Dude, I can't. I want to, but I can't. I can't
know.
say a
This
negative
just
thing
goes
about it.
know.
back to how do you evaluate 15, 16-year-olds? You get the right mix of these kids, and you can't...
Isn't that chance, though? That's all luck.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but you can't put... chemistry doesn't show up on any evaluation sheet.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get the right mix of people in a room on a team, and they bond, and the chemistry's there. I don't care how unproven they are.
Exactly.
They catch lightning in a bottle, and they're on
Goddamn
fire.
Mikey ducks it.
Flying V, baby.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
It's chemistry.
I'm gonna be excited because I'm gonna watch Portland. Like I'm gonna call it. Like I think they have it to go.
Well, and I have to say too, like their fans have been, and once again, winning.
but
Winning keeps you or not humble, but quiet.
Guess what? Their teardown was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
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 And you're there, so that look to the
So
future.
we're there.
Exactly.
We're there, you guys.
You guys,
I mean,
I said it a couple weeks ago. I think this will probably be the third time I've said it. In 2 years, this team, the Americans, will be a strong contender.
Yeah.
A strong contender. And
No
one of
doubt.
the reasons I say that is because what I saw Saturday night on the ice against Spokane, one Mr. Ronan Garrity, 15-year-old goalie. Never heard of this kid before. I thought he was one that we got in the trade from Edmonton. No, this is a 15-year-old kid who was an affiliate player, had no contract, just said, hey, we need a goalie because Boyko's out long-term now. So they brought him up. holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And after that start, he gave up 7 goals, and they signed him to a contract. That tells you what's going on with him. He's good.
I just
He looked confident, man.
back to Parker's point about us not being a hockey town. Like I said, I mean, it's been 32 years. Like, it's time. Like, what needs to that's the conversation that needs
Are
to
we a
happen with
baseball
support
town, though?
local.
Because we have the
No,
Dust
football.
Devils.
It's football.
Listen,
But there's no football team
the
here.
most-
High school.
the
Oh.
most consistent
We might as well be fucking East Texas.
professional
Yeah, Friday Night
/ semi-professional sport in this town is the Tri-City American since 1988.
Yep.
We had professional basketball come and go. We had professional baseball come and go. We do have a single A short season affiliate now. That's a totally different ballgame.
Right.
The consistency for 33 years has been the Americans.
Yep.
What else needs to happen? That's my challenge to you guys, to everyone out there.
I like that.
How do you wrap the community into saying this is our team? We're a hockey town. It's been long enough. That's 33 years. That's a generation.
Yeah.
So I have ideas for that.
I do too.
And
Can I just throw
I think
one
that's
thing
somewhere
out there?
the team could be more involved. I think some of that's on the team to figure out a way to get that culture going.
So
Aside from game night.
I think that's part of it.
yeah, I think I know where you're
No,
going.
I'm not
with
saying
this.
it's the only thing that needs to happen. I'm just saying where's that at? I mean,
Local businesses and everything need to be more involved, and that includes Buried Puck Threads. As a hockey apparel company, we've got to be more involved. But you've got sponsors. Did you guys know that Proof Gastropub is a sponsor of the Americans?
I had heard that.
Did
yeah.
anybody know that and it's Red Lobster, but anybody know Red Lobster?
They have some banging cheddar bay
Is
biscuits.
Fucking A.
I mean, you and I went to Crab Fest last year and got shit for it, but I loved it. And they're a game day sponsor. There's a small bar over in the hotel across the parking lot called Wheelhouse. They're a sponsor. Gray's is a sponsor. People don't know that these businesses are sponsors because the businesses aren't really saying anything about it.
Right.
Other than if you walk into
Interesting.
the arena. These businesses need to start picking
taking
up.
advantage of that. Because
Yeah.
one, the Americans have a huge following on social media.
Yep.
So they start tagging the Americans. could see that the Americans would start sharing. And I mean, their post about it. And that's a good.
I eat at Proof once a week,
There you go.
I'm saying
and I had no idea.
I'm saying that it sits around this table.
Well, for sure.
The way that hockey is it's got to be grassroots. I mean, honestly, we've got the team. So how do we get people in the seats? How do we get people, even if that's not their thing, how do we get a stick in a kid's hand
Yeah.
and a practice ball?
Well, and for those of
And-
you that think we only talk about this once a week, these are conversations that, I mean, you and I live together. We have these
Yeah.
conversations multiple times a week. We have these conversations.
Yeah.
This is
That's
stuff
what
we're
Cascadia
constantly...
Hockey Club is where we're starting.
That's one of the reasons that
Yeah.
we started that.
And
Was
actually-
not only the culture here, but I think the thing is we're part of that larger Northwest hockey,
And
we can be
Yes.
plugged into that.
And I think our time is coming.
Oh, I think so.
Like while we've had this junior team, the Northwest has not had a professional NHL team to rally around.
Right.
And that becomes a lightning rod that draws people to the sport.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so right now we're on the cusp. We're about to receive that fucking epinephrine shot to the culture.
Yep. The Kraken are about to arrive.
I'm
I'm
kind
going
of
to
gonna.
need you
I'm
to take
kinda,
about 20% off.
But I'm
kind of
going with Todd. He shared the sock puppets, or was it you that?
That's I
did.
called
that
it
was
sock
awesome.
out.
puppets.
That was
I'm
awesome.
gonna. I kind of.
I
feeling
love that
the sock
logo.
I
you
know.
are absolutely right though, and that's what we're trying to capture. Like the sport of hockey is the same all over the world, but the culture of hockey is different from region to
Oh,
region.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And Northwest hockey's about to take off.
Absolutely,
Agreed.
man. And that the Canucks have been here for a long time, but that even that's different. That's a Canadian team.
Dude, you got a border.
I know.
A border's a big deal.
And it is a very big deal. When I think of Cascadia, I think of going all the way up into British Columbia and that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, because that's
But-
what it is, but
But you add that. I mean, we're specifically right now talking Pacific Northwest. There's a culture here. I mean, TJ Oshie has already hinted at the fact he would love to come play.
Yeah.
Barzal has hinted at the fact that, that'd be kind of cool. to come back and play. The players that have gone through here, Oshie's from Mount Vernon. That's
Yeah.
where he grew up at till he couldn't go any further in hockey, so he moved to War Road
Right.
to continue on. But the players that have been through the Northwest hockey understand how special it is here, and they want to come back.
Yeah.
You know?
So I feel like this episode, not negative per se,
No.
but maybe a little.
It's a call to arms, man.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll
kicking
take
our
that.
own asses.
I don't know.
So
I
let's
don't.
go.
I
Yeah.
honestly can't remember if we covered this earlier, or if this was off air. But I do want to say that over the last couple of weeks, from what I've seen, fans have made a turn for
Yeah.
the good.
Yeah.
When we were at the game the other night, and I have to give props to the Spokane
Yep.
fans too. Spokane came in score wise, kicked the Am's ass 7-2. The fans were very polite, very respectful. It feels like fans of opponents know what the Ams are going through right now,
Yeah.
and so there's some mercy there.
And the other thing with that, dude, is last game I went to,
Yeah.
I noticed we had a kid get hurt on
Were you at the Regina game?
the Regina game.
Okay.
Regina. Experience Regina.
There was the green light.
So yeah, we've got to give him the open every episode. But
That was the best part
But
of
when
the
he
last
came
season
up-
of Letterkenny.
when he came up, when he got up and was getting taken off the ice, we cheered.
Yep.
Everybody cheered.
And we
for him.
usually do. We usually
yeah,
do.
yeah,
but
yeah. But seeing that start to grow a little bit and realize, hey, that's a kid.
Yes.
That's a kid who could feasibly be very hurt.
yeah,
Could
For sure.
life altering
For
type
sure.
of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like the fucking patch on the front of the jersey doesn't matter at that point, right? And seeing people start to grasp that. I mean, not that they haven't before, but
Yeah.
but watching it again, that made me feel proud of our fan base in a way I hadn't in a while.
for sure, for sure. And I say that happens a lot just because I mean we go to a lot of
Yeah,
games, and,
yeah.
and you're not able to make it out to as many, but just that's definitely a part of it. That sportsmanship from the fans. Saturday night, you didn't hear the grumbling in the crowd. The
Good.
guy in Section N that loves to yell at anything and everybody for any reason was quiet. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he's dead. I don't know. But you didn't hear him. You heard a lot of support. A couple games before that, Boyko was in net, and he was struggling pretty hard.
Yeah.
You heard people up in the stands, you got this, Boykes, you got this. Don't let him get to you, man.
Yeah.
That positive attitude, got to have more of that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Got to support these kids. Because Parker, the first time we had him on, did confirm these kids absolutely know what's going on up in the stands while the game's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does affect it. A lot of people think, oh, they're on the ice. They don't really hear. They can't. Bullshit.
The worst part is when we're at a game and they're losing.
Yeah.
And everybody just gets up and walks out. I'm
After
like,
the
and I look
50-50.
at Aaron every
Yeah,
time. I'm
let me
like,
call
do you
that out.
think they really see that? Do they
Oh,
see
absolutely.
it? And I know they do because I notice it. I mean,
You fuckers that only wait around for the 50-50, fuck you. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Seriously. Seriously.
What are
I
we going to
mean
save
that.
2 minutes in traffic? Eat a dick.
For
Yeah,
real.
it's not like we have traffic.
No.
Yeah, dude.
We're excited because we park in the VIP lot this year. And when you start thinking about it, okay, I think the longest it ever took us to leave a game before was like 12
7 minutes? Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Well,
We
even
don't-
then, we normally sit through like when we're
three
at the
stars.
we sit through all three stars.
stars, yep.
You know, and then by the time we get out there, the parking lot's empty.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. So anyway, the point is, that's selfish. The players notice. Support your fucking team.
yes.
Just support your
Support
team.
local hockey.
No matter where it's at, support it. So, guys, we've gone long today. I think it was a good conversation. You guys that are listening to this, you know where we stand. You know what we want to see happen everywhere. Not just Tri-City. Tri-City is our home. This is where we support local hockey, but everywhere across the Pacific Northwest. With that, join our Facebook group. Just go into Facebook
Yep.
and search for Cascadia Hockey Club. It's a private group, but you go on, you answer a couple questions. We make sure you're not a robot, and you're in. And there's players like Parker Acoyne is in there a lot, interacting. Bo McHugh, which... Congrats, Bo. Bo just signed a contract with the Rapid City Rush of the ECHL.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So he'll be with them for the postseason. I'm hoping to have him on this summer because he's usually here during the summertime. So we'll talk about his experience. Bo's on there. Jordan Topping's on there. So, I mean, there's players in there that will interact with you and stuff. So
And I will be bringing. I'm going to start a new feature next episode.
Uh-oh.
No. But it's going to be Fight of the Week.
Okay.
So
Let's do it.
I will be sharing fight videos onto the thing and then judging by likes based on who voted on the Facebook page. I will feature it and talk about that
Like
fight.
it.
The other thing we're going to do...
Like it a
no,
lot.
We'll leave that go. Our good friend Dawson Butt, who's not our good friend, he's the one that Remmer likes to chirp. Like on that little
Bullet.
clip we have,
Yeah.
he's chirping Dawson Butt.
Oh, the dollar hot dog night?
He's telling that to Dawson Butt. Dawson Butt recently was the recipient of a 12-game suspension from the WHL for actions within the last 5 minutes of a game. So
Yikes.
he's eating lots of hot dogs right now. Yes, I did just chirp a 20-year-old kid.
He's an adult.
That's a good one.
Edibles,
You get that-
edibles.
You get that one up and going. That will be fun. And there's been lots of fighting's been up this year. I feel like
It
in the
absolutely
dub.
has. I've
In the
noticed
dub.
that.
And let me say, I do support fighting in the game.
Same.
Period. A lot of people don't agree with me. I don't care.
It's fucking part
I
of the game,
support it.
babe.
Yep. So, anyway, that will about do it for us. I think
Yep.
we don't
have an ending sponsor.
we don't have to thank anybody.
No,
today.
nobody. You know what? We will thank
The
Thank you,
McMurrays.
Mrs. Piper, for opening
for
our
hosting.
home. Yes. Next week we'll have snacks.
That is inaccurate.
Derek, huh?
Cascadia Hockey is recorded live in the Cascadia Hockey Studios.
Otherwise known as the dining room of the Piper McMurrays.
Shut the fuck up. We're trying to build an illusion. It's in front of a live studio couch.
Big thanks to Parker for taking his time.
Oh my
Love
God,
that.
Parker was amazing.
Love
Great
that guy.
combo, man.
And a cool palette wall.
Dude, which feels very hockey to me. It's like we're in the... You know, it feels like we're at the Ice Shack. I'm going to tell
boy.
you.
Oh,
I love
boy.
how much you hate him now.
I don't hate him. It's just funny when he shows up. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming out.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Derek, always. Corey,
I'm just going
always.
to go take a nap on your couch, Holmes.
Oh, no. Kids will be home soon. There
Yeah.
will be no napping. No,
I
thank
could
you
sleep
guys.
through anything.
So you want to bring it? Yeah, you want to bring it on home? Edibles.
Edible. Cascadia Hockey is brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. Online at buriedpuck.com.
Or buriedpuckthreads.com.
Buriedpuckthreads.com.
Or bpthc.com.
There we go.
That sounds like marijuana.
Hit us up on the... That's right, THC.
Mary Jane.
It's true.
Edibles,
When I
edibles.
bought that URL, I started getting emails from GoDaddy. You might also like, and it was a bunch of like
Just
THC weed
weed
names.
ones.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to go.
Oh, so... Okay, bye, Anya.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, wow, this
Calm
took
the
a
fuck
turn,
down.
man.
3, 2, 1.
No, thank you.
Rhyming about life like I'm rapping my death away. Stay well composed, figuratively, literally. They prefer a hashtag to metaphor, simile. Brag rap to poetry, backtrack to symphony. Sweet talk to sourpuss press and push bitterly. Decades of getting degraded didn't diminish me. Oh, but they prefer the skinny me. I'm an emotional leader of the MCs who sit and slump. Fuck being complicated, Uncle Sage is difficult. It's a cult of personality, stuck in a false reality. It's all a bunch of more punk and dance club rap to me. Swagger jack and black cracker battle rappers going minstrel born on third base, acting like they hit a triple with a wiffle ball bat, walking pretty, talking gritty with no ab. In fact, it's all theory. I promise you death threats don't actually kill me, but like my dog, I'ma scratch your kitty like that, y'all. Like that, y'all. Like that. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that. It's like that, y'all. Talk shit.